When you think of the best player in the world, the first person that comes to mind is, of course, Donk, but unfortunately in this past weekend, he had the worst rated performance that he's had this entire year, and it was versus G2. Now, I want to do a demo review on this game, but it won't be like normal demo reviews that I've done on this channel, because we're not going to be highlighting an insane performance, but instead we're going to go ahead and see how Donk managed to have a game like this, and just determine whether maybe he got unlucky, or maybe he just played bad for one time in his career. So we'll get right into that right after a quick word from SkinsMonkey. Today's video is sponsored by SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is a site where you could trade skins that you already have to get some skins that you might want. That way you can hop into your next game with some fresh new skins. All you have to do is log into the site through Steam, put in the skins that you don't want anymore, grab the skins that you do, and then click trade. Trades happen almost immediately, and any balance that you don't use in the trade will roll over for a trade that you might do in the future. Right now you can get a free $5 if you were to use code Austin on the site, and if you were to use my code, you would get an additional 5% on top of the 30% deposit bonus. So let's say if you deposit $100, that means you would get $135 if you use my code to deposit. So make sure you guys check out SkinsMonkey, and let's get right back into the video. So we've got Donk coming into Donut on pistol round, and he's going to die before Nico's even really got a chance to shoot him. I actually think he meant to kill Zontix. It just somehow caught Donk on the kill there. Now, before we get too far into this demo review, you're probably thinking, Austin, where is your webcam? Well, if you've watched my most recent video, you might have noticed that my nose is sunburned and I look ridiculous. So for these next couple of days, these videos, I'm just not going to have my webcam on because it's just distracting. It really is. Anyway, I'm going to kind of skim through these first couple of rounds here because Donk doesn't really get a lot of action. I mean, look at this. This just kind of paints a picture of the kind of game he's having so far. That's brutal, double mollied, naded, and flashed before he dies. We go into the first gun round here. Now, this round is pretty nice, so if we watch again from Donk's perspective, we are going to see that standard Zontix and Donk mid control. Now, if you haven't seen the video, I'll put a link in the top right. I have actually talked about how Zontix and Donk are kind of like a little iconic duo in mid, and I love the way they do ancient, just CT side in general. It's very nice. If you want to watch that video, top right. Now, it's just more of the same. We're going to have Donk come into this cubby here, and he's getting baited for by Zontix. Now, this is pretty standard for solo mid, is to have somebody spam from house because, well, it's solo mid. If anybody comes out, you want to kill them. And the idea being that since Zontix is spamming and they have gambled nobody A, they could bait somebody like Malbs, very aggressive player, North American Donk is what they're calling him, to walk out mid and try to take that timing. And if that were to happen, then Donk would swiftly deal with him because you probably wouldn't expect him there. But it's actually really good as well because since they're expecting an A player because of the setup being, baiting, they're baiting that there's only one mid. Since they're expecting that, there's a really good chance that that does happen. Or at the very least, they come in to take mid control and they probably won't expect Donk in the cubby, and Zontix should get a free trade kill on anybody who walks out mid, because here's what happens, right? They walk out mid and Donk kills them, and then Zontix will trade them from the house. And exactly what we're going to see, actually. They're going to come out mid here, and Donk's going to go ahead and take a peek. Now, we expect Donk to hit those normally, so we can't criticize him too much. I mean, he's just doing what he normally does, and he will get his head taken off by Malbs. But we'll go into the next round here. Remember, this is a tough game for Spirit. They kind of get destroyed, and so does Donk. So I just kind of want to break down what's going on and see how it is. Now, we've already had two unlucky rounds. I mean, pistol and the full eco round, just kind of whatever, and then the gun round is fine. And we have another round here. Now, this is just a pretty solid setup again, where Donk is going to be hiding here in this corner, and Zontix is going to pretend that he's playing A. We have Shiro spotting mid, probably throwing some nades, and then they're doing this 2B setup. Now, of course, the idea we expect on a round like this for G2, given the economy and knowing what this Team Spirit is going to have going into this round, it's normal to expect an A rush. Now, they have one M4 A1S saved, and they're going to gamble it on A, because if that A hit comes in, it's Donk, and Donk with the A1S is probably going to get like 2 or 3 with Zontix baiting for him. It's just a perfect setup, and if they go B, well, then they just save. It's really not a big deal, right? So we've kind of watch the round play out here, and you can see on the radar that G2 is kind of creeping around B, feeling it out. Hunter's creeping in A main, and the B hit comes in, and it's really too late for anything to happen, so Donk is just going to try to get a kill before he saves, but he's not going to get to save, actually, and that's the round. I would have preferred to see him save, but I can't hate the fact that, hey, I have a saved M4. If I could get a kill or two, that's fantastic. I get to buy next round anyway. It is what it is. Again, it's Donk, and I keep saying that because it's like, it is Donk. Like, he's him. He can just expect to go for those kills. Normally, when we watch Donk, I always say, well, yeah, he could do that because he's him. In this game, he's lost a couple of duels so far, and you can see that sometimes that happens. Yeah, granted, this is the first time that he's had a bad rating in a match this entire year. like a super bad rating. This is a 0.5 performance. So it's like, you know, if you play 7, almost 8 months without having a bad game, then I think, you know, you could probably get away with it. Yeah, so we have another round of mid control here. They have faked that they've gone down. Of course, like I talked about before, Malb's very aggressive player. We just did a demo review on him too. You can put that in the top right of your screen if you want to watch Malb's. He just walks right through the mid stuff, calls their bluff. Gonna have a really good timing on him here. Now, Donk is aware of this possibility. He will be jiggling with some util in his hand. It's a really nice jiggle for you A players and mid players. Follows that up with a flash, because what you didn't notice was also exactly what G2 didn't notice. Zontex actually pushed through A main. Now, the reason I didn't highlight that is to try to paint the picture that G2 takes a timing in mid, but it's been accounted for. Spirit's pushing through A main, and Zontex will find a kill. Donk is just delaying. That flash is not meant to stop them from coming donut. It's meant to disorient them for Zontex's push. Pretty well coordinated, actually. And he's just going to go right back into it. He has a smoke now. He is solo A, and if he gets spotted, he will be able to smoke off donut. m0NESY, though, one step ahead of him, will creep up. He knows what's happening. m0NESY, very, very smart player as well. He's going to just step up on top of the boost and op donk. Now, it is a hard shot for m0NESY to hit, so I can't blame Donk for going for that. Let's go ahead and see that from m0NESY's perspective so you can kind of get an idea. This is not an easy shot. It's just one of those things where he just got outclassed. Another unfortunate death for Donk, but he did set his teammate up. So not a bad round from him. Very unfortunate death. And now we will go on to the next round here. What is going on? Valve. I'm just kidding. They fix this most of the time. It's just weird when you fast forward paused. We got more mid control. Now we've already shown an a passive look, and now we've shown an aggressive look. And look at this guy, Malbs. He's just out dueled Donk again. I mean, Donk did get the dink, but Malbs gets the kill, and he gets traded. So that's just another round. He's 0-6, but he's still playing like Donk. I mean, to be clear, like, these are things that we expect Donk to do. We just, normally he gets the kill and then he keeps going, but this Malbs guy has given him a lot of trouble so far this game. We'll go on to the next game. Or the next round, I should say. Next round here, we actually did see Spirit recover that last round at the end, and we get the timeout called. CT side, we need to be like, okay guys, look, right here, we need to make sure that we don't let things get out of hand. We need to do old reliable. And old reliable is 3 towards mid. That's a really good idea. We've got Shiro here throwing flashes, supportive flashes for the boys. But unfortunately, even though this aggressive mid control has worked, the call from Snacks is to do an A contact. Now, Shiro is in position for this, but it's going to leave Donk and Zontex in this aggressive mid setup. Rotates will be a little bit slow. Bomb is pretty much guaranteed to go down. And because I've tabbed out, but because Donk and Zontex haven't jumped up to contest towards banana here, they actually can't really take all of this spot of the map here. This is banana control, like it's Inferno. And the reason that matters is because, well, if they get this information that it's clear, then they're obviously going to know that it's A. But that's why, at the beginning of the round, this smoke gets thrown from G2. Snacks, probably not known to be an IGL, but he might be soon. This is a really good strat. You know, you throw that mid pressure, just a little bit, enough to keep them interested in taking area down here, and then you throw this smoke to deny info, and you have just enough of a question mark here to where they can't stack A. These guys can't push down because it's too risky to only go ramp. So you just get to contact out A, and as long as you don't get out by Shiro and you patiently wait, don't go out before the smokes, you're pretty much good to go. And that's exactly what's going to happen here. Donk is just going to be sitting behind the smoke. By the way, I'm not sure if you guys are interested in this new meta smoke that's been getting thrown for a while. It's a deep donut smoke. I'll make a video on my Clips channel sometime about it if you guys are interested in knowing it. But it basically, the idea is it lands in deep donut like this. That way, you can't get spammed while you're planting because your teammate has this instead of the CTs. And once the smoke starts to fade, you can actually molly behind, and it just kind of make taking donut a lot easier. It's interesting. I'm not the biggest fan, but if it works, it looks really good. So Nonk's behind the smoke. He goes for the spam regardless. You know, just nothing out of the ordinary, just kind of stopping them from coming in. But look at this. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, he gets isolated in the corner, eats a nade. He's kind of in trouble here. And if he goes for a peek on this right side, there's 2 people looking at him. I mean, he's gotten dealt with so far. I mean, so he's 0-7, right? A Donk is 0-7, but so far, I don't really know if he's actually done anything stupid. I mean, he did all the things he normally does. He comes down, he takes a fight on Malbs, he goes dink for a kill, you know, Malbs kills him, and then the one round he goes for a peek, Malbs kills him. Now we have another round where he's jiggling donut and m0NESY ops him. Now you have another round where he literally gets forced in a corner, naded, and then double peeked. I mean, he's having a rough game here, but it's just because G2's forcing him to. I love that. these tactics are just so fun to watch. Okay, so we got another round here. Donk does have full utility, throws the normal stuff. Nothing out of the ordinary. Drops the smoke. Now, you might have noticed by now that the way that Zontix and Donk like to do mid, they double molly here. And then once Donk gets down here, then he smokes it off. That way his smoke can last longer. Just maybe you want to know that for your pugs when you're playing. Maybe you guys are watching this and you're like in an open team. That's a good way of taking mid control. Because then after that, you can jump up. You just have this smoke. It's going to last a little bit longer than if you would have thrown it from spawn. And Zontix still has another smoke that he can throw. So you get to hold on to bottom mid for like 45 seconds. Whereas if you throw the one from spawn, it's more like 35. So just a small thing. You can fight down towards B. Anyway, so I only bring that up because that's just kind of how they do it every round. You know, they get that full banana control. Now, the difference between a round like this and a round like the round we just watched where they were out of position is, I've gone a little bit too far, is they actually do have the info that banana is clear. They have 2 down towards ramp because this smoke wasn't thrown. But the problem is because last time they threw this smoke, they went A. This time they didn't throw the smoke, so that's why they're going for this crunch. I mean, Team Spirit is fully expecting to see people here because this smoke that's denying the mid jump up fight isn't there. That's why Donk comes up mid. That's why Zontix is holding here because they want to make sure that they can crunch banana with their ramp players. But because all of the CTs are 4 in a row, super far from A, they're just going to go out A again because they can, and the rotates are super far. They've been baited. It's kind of like conditioning because before they threw the smoke, so then you wouldn't do that. So then, yeah, okay, it makes sense that they've gone A. This time, no smoke. I'm kind of over-explaining it, but I think you're kind of getting the idea. And Shiro is out of position. Normally, he'd be here, but you think, well, what is Shiro doing? No, Shiro's actually flashing. He's the one that flashed for Donk to peek. And he also could flash down ramp. He probably even smoked door, right? He probably threw it from back here. So he's kind of organizing this. He's like throwing the util. It's like a CT side execute. And the strat's just perfectly timed to where they're kind of out of position and they're going to have to play retake A. Now that deep donut smoke, again, it's kind of suffocating. The bomb can go down and look at this. They're doing the same thing. They're getting in the same positions. But this time, the main difference is that the nade from his teammate will allow Donk to peek out on the planter. That was pretty good. A little scary. He could have died, but he got the kill. Now he's got his confidence back in the round. 5 HP. Oh, no. It's all gone. Terribly wrong. And again, we're just seeing, you know, the repercussions of this deep donut smoke. Again, I did say I don't like it, but I do like it in tactics where it makes sense. And this is one of them. You just keep mollying these sides of donut, and you can't really do anything. And because ancient CT side is so mid-centric, you know, you're always worried about having mid because if you have mid, then you can take banana. And if you have banana, then you can basically win the round, right? You can kind of get away with doing stuff like this. And even though it could be, you know, expected for you to go A, you can't really do too much because if you put too many people A, then mid is weak and then they can just go mid and split B, or they could split A. Or if you put too many people mid and A, then they just can go B and then you're just out of luck. So realistically speaking, this is just an example of really good calling. I have to be honest, like Snack's IGL it's pretty good so far. But it's only been a couple of rounds, you know, and there's only so long that Donk can go without firing up. So we have another round here. This is round number 9, and we get that same mid control as before. Shiro is throwing those flashes for Donk. Donk wants to get active, but he actually eats a flash here. Eats 2 of them. And so he wanted to go for that aggressive swing. He can't do that though. And the reason I know he wanted to is because Shiro was here throwing those flashes so he could swing bottom mid, but that flash off the wall will actually stop him. So now we're in a weird position because look, these guys are ready to go down ramp, and look, Donk was going to come up here. They were going to do the same thing yet again because it's just solid. But look, what do we have here? This smoke is up again. Okay, now we've really got some mind games. Something needs to change because we need to figure out what's going on. So Chopper, he's the IGL. He knows, okay, we might be getting outplayed because now that this smoke is up, last time this smoke was up, they just went A. So this time the smoke is up. They won't do that again. I'm just going to go down ramp and get that info. And look at that. We have the info. Chopper's right. It's going to be A. Okay, Snacks. This time we've outplayed you. We've read it. They're literally running the exact same execute again because it's been working so well. Shiro runs to the molly. And now Donk is in a perfect position. Finally, he's beat the smoke. He can actually do something. But look at this guy. He's got his number. Look at Mulbs. Hold on. I actually want to rewind that because I think it's so funny. Look at Mulbs immediately comes out as soon as he knows Donk is there because he's had Donk's number all game. Look at, he's just like, you know what? I'm coming right for him. I don't even care. Look at that. I love the confidence from Mulbs. This guy is insane. Probably going to be one of the best players of the year. Mark my words on that. Mark my words on that. Anyway, yeah. So Donk had a decent round. Team Spirit outcalled Snacks this time. They outcalled G2. But it doesn't matter because the kills go the way of G2. Mulbs is on a heater. Now we've got another round here. We see more of the exact same. That nade, I don't understand why that happened. What does this nade bounce off of? It literally just goes like, watch. What? How? Why does it bounce back on him? That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, yeah, so they go for this aggressive mid control, but look at the flashes from G2. They're just perfectly timed. Donk cannot cross this line. Anytime he tries to cross this line, either Malbs is flashing him from here, or they have God flashes coming from T-spawn. He can't get across this line whenever they don't want him to. That's important to note. The reason they don't want him to cross this line this time, Snax took aggressive cave control. Look at, they're always cross map making sense. They want to make sure that he can't jump up, so they're doing everything they can while Snax takes fast cave, and it's looking really good. Unfortunately though, Donk will best Malbs. I think that's the first time actually this entire game that he's bested him, and Snax will get the trade. Donk is finally in his comfort zone though, because we actually have a good position. He's got mid. He's probably feeling pretty comfortable, but he mistimes the smoke. Going for that smoke gets a little unfortunate, gets timing. Yeah, I mean, it's just unlucky, actually. That's just really unlucky. It was like a half a second off and it gets him killed. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it happens. It does really, it just happens sometimes. Okay. Final round on CT side, and so far, Donk, 4 kills. It's not going to get much better from here, but let's just see how the rest of this goes. Get deep molly in mid, pretty standard. We see the same thing, jumping up. Now this time, what's going on here? Look at that, that's crazy. So because the smoke is thrown again and Donk finally gets up, they're going for crazy banana control, but the spam from all 3 of the G2 players pretty much just insta kills Donk, and he doesn't have another chance. All right, so we're gonna switch over to T side. Didn't have a great CT side, but you know what? T side, it can get better. We've got the pistol around here. He's gonna be making his way up now. On CT pistol, he did instantly die. So on T side, we're hoping to see a little bit more from him. He's gonna make his way up ramp, and he's gonna pretty much instantly die. Luckily though, his team will be able to pull back the round, and that is important because they're gonna be able to have good guns going into this first round here, or the first gun round, I should say. But we got a full eco. Donk's just kind of on cruise control here. I will skip this because there's not a lot to say, and the round is pretty much just it is what it is. Full eco. Donk gets no kills. We move on. Now we have another round here. He's going to go for instant house smoke, and they're going to be going double A main with Zontix, and it's just standard, I guess. They don't want to put too much pressure mid. They're kind of playing slow in banana, and they're going to just kind of walk A main, maybe duel anybody who wants to get in here with like an MP9. Malbs is a very aggressive player. Sometimes he does that, so they just kind of walk together, see if he's going to do anything. Then they're going to take late mid. All of this is typical Spirit stuff. Nothing too out of the ordinary, and yeah, they're gonna fake the donut control. They get Zontix in towards close house. I think they know he's there though. I mean, look at the way Monacy's looking at him. Yeah, and that's gonna set them up for they have to go fast B. They have to go now. Donk is holding this nade. He wants to nade that smoke, and here it comes. Boom, coming up. He actually misses it a little bit, and unfortunately, he will go down to Nico. Now, in case you're wondering what he's looking at, I actually don't know, but yeah, I would only assume that he's expecting somebody in this cubby, given the ramp smoke is up. It's pretty common to see that happen, and they're also probably not expecting only one person to be B holding from long. So yeah, that one I don't know. That one I think Donk just picked wrong. You either pick left or you pick right. You pick left, and we go on to another round here. He's gonna come in towards banana. This round I think is the round Malbs jumps up and gives them hell. I think it is anyway. No, it isn't. It isn't. He's in A. That would be the next round. We're gonna get a quick trade onto Snax, and then he gets another kill onto Hunter. So far so good. We got typical Donk activity. Goes for that third onto Nico. I love that confidence from him. And then, oh no, it is this round because Malbs is he's up there now, and there's nothing he can do. Malbs gets the first kill, and then he's gonna peek out here and get the next 2 as well. I mean, this is typical Donk though. I mean, I think getting 2 and losing the round is kind of a specialty of Donk. So we're gonna have another round. They're gonna do this A creep. There's not a lot to say. I did already watch this. I wish I could fill in more. I mean, a lot of the CT stuff is unlucky. The T side is just kind of calling. He's gotten the kills he needed to on CT side so far. He gets another one onto Malbs, scales up quickly. Now he gets he gets to close default here, and Monacy is gonna kill him through the smoke in a second. You'll see he actually just comes up here, and I think he spams him while the smoke is still up. Hold on, let me see if I'm right. Yeah, I think it's coming in right now. Yep. It was actually Hunter from Donut, believe it or not. So, yeah, I mean, so far, it's just... I mean, he's gotten all the kills he needs to get. He's had a pretty standard T side, so it's really just the CT side that he had a rough time on. But yeah, I think that's gonna wrap up the demo review nicely. We're gonna watch one more round. I think this is the final round. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this demo review or not. I know it's a little abnormal to cover a bad performance instead of a good performance, but maybe it's something you're interested in. Maybe I could do this a little bit more if you're curious. I love that off angle from Mulbs, by the way. You can steal that one if you're an A player. He's gonna get 2. That's crazy. But yeah, you guys just let me know what you guys think about this demo review. Let me know how you feel about no webcam. I don't want to do that, but you know, I felt the need to get these videos out sooner rather than later. So you know, this is the compromise that I'm making with myself. Yeah, but if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. You guys have been showing so much crazy support on all of the videos recently. I thank you guys very, very much. It's gonna be it from me. Yeah, that's it. Peace out, guys. I'm doing the peace thing like I always do. Just take my word for it. And yeah, that's it.